What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So what I told you over the past couple of weeks that we are starting to see this push from some lawmakers to try to get a fourth stimulus check. Well, that is actually starting to really transpire now. We're starting to see lawmakers are pushing President Biden to include an additional stimulus check, but not only just an additional check, but a monthly stimulus check into the Build Back Better plan. What we heard today is that this group of 64 lawmakers, this includes 53 representatives from the House, and includes 11 senators, including Bernie Sanders himself, but they both groups have the senators and then you have the representatives. They both wrote letters to President Biden today stating that they want to see an additional stimulus check into the bill. What we do know is right now the senators are pushing to get this additional stimulus check, and we got the progressives that are backing the bill, the ABC Act. And the ABC Act, if you don't remember, this is the bill that actually includes $2,000 per month stimulus checks, and that is for the entirety of this pandemic. Now, it would not be retroactive, okay? I just want to make that clear because I did watch a video earlier today on this exact same thing, and some YouTubers said this would be retroactive all the way from the beginning of this pandemic, and that is not true. It would be from when it starts, when the bill is actually signed into law, and then the entirety of the pandemic moving forward. So just keep that in mind. And I guarantee there's going to be more people that say, nope, it's the entirety of the pandemic, all the way from March 2020 until whenever the pandemic is over. That's not the case. Also, this ABC Act, it includes the $2,000 per month for the entirety of the pandemic, and then $1,000 per month for every single month after the pandemic is over, up to 1 year. That's currently what is being discussed. Now, I'm not saying that's going to pass. I think that is highly unlikely. I don't think President Biden would even go for this. But what we need to watch for, tomorrow, President Biden is going to speak in Pittsburgh, and that is when he's supposedly going to unveil at least half of his Build Back Better plan. Well, when he speaks, we need to listen to see what he says, okay? He's not going to come out and say we're going to provide an additional stimulus check. He's just not going to do that. And the reason why many experts believe this, okay, I'm not an expert, I'm just a guy on YouTube that is, relaying this information that we're seeing, to you. But what I've seen, experts are calling this statement tomorrow. This is going to be huge because this will dictate whether or not we have an opening for an additional stimulus check. That's kind of what we're looking for. We're not trying to see, okay, does he say we're getting one or does he say we're not? We're looking for the opening. That's what we're seeing. So what I can tell you is both groups of lawmakers, the senators and the representatives, are fighting for additional stimulus check, but it's going to come down to, is there an opening for the stimulus check? And there is, okay? There already is, even before President Biden has even said a word, and I'm going to explain why in just a second. First, let me read the statement from this group of lawmakers. They say, and I quote, and this is to President Biden and Kamala Harris, Vice President Harris. They say, we urge you to include recurring direct payments and automatic unemployment insurance extensions tied to economic conditions in your Build Back Better long-term economic plan. This crisis is far from over, and families deserve certainty that they can put food on the table and keep a roof over their heads. So, what we know is this crisis is actually getting worse. The CDC director was almost in tears just the other day. Was that this morning? I think it was the other day. But she was almost in tears talking about how she is scared. She's worried about what could actually happen. What I'm here to tell you is yes, the numbers are increasing. The numbers are getting rather scary because we are seeing this big influx in new cases. The problem right now is experts believe that warmer weather, spring break, vacationing that's happened more frequently is now starting to play a big factor, and this is what is causing numbers to only increase. That's what experts are saying. Now, one of the biggest pieces of news that we saw come out today is that and again, this is where the opening comes in, all right? And this is where it's weird, but this is where it's at. The opening for an additional stimulus check comes because of when President Biden wants to pass this bill. Here's what we know, okay? So what we currently know is that President Biden wants to get this bill worked on, get it closer, pass, agree on the framework, and then start to work on the different pieces of legislation within the bill. And he wants to have this done by the beginning of the summer. Okay, so by June 1st, right? That would technically be the beginning of summer. So that's when he wants to have it done. But they're not going to pass the bill by June 1st. What he is saying, based on what White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki says, is we are going to see that Congress is going to work on this and negotiate the bill during the summer, because the goal is to have this Build Back Better plan passed by this fall. Okay? Now here's where all the stuff really breaks down. This group of lawmakers, okay, they want to get multiple things. They're not just talking about stimulus checks. They want to also see an extension of unemployment benefits, which expire on September 6th. Okay, Congress does go on recess for pretty much all of August, so just keep that in mind as well. They also want to see unemployment benefits tied to the economic recovery through automatic triggers. And a couple other things is they're saying that by extending unemployment benefits, okay, around the end of the summer, that's actually going to lead right up into that deadline of, all right, instead of cutting off unemployment benefits on September 6th, we can just put this into the bill and it's just going to roll right through. Well, here's the reason why this plan as to when the bill is going to pass. This is why this is the opening to get in additional stimulus checks, to get in an extension of unemployment benefits, and also to tie it into automatic triggers. But also, this is when we'll have a better idea of what is going to happen with the child tax credits. And what we know right now is that the child tax credits, yeah, they're in the $1.9 trillion stimulus package. They're supposed to start coming out, the payments, as a monthly payment starting in July. However, the IRS is backed up. They are most likely not going to meet that deadline. Chances are, according to many experts, it will probably not happen until approximately August, maybe September, okay? Which again, opens the door to when this bill is supposed to pass. It's supposed to pass before the fall. So they want to get done sometime in the summer. Well, remember what I just said, Congress is away for pretty much the entire month of August. So because of that, they're not going to pass anything in August. And they're not going to wait until September. They're not going to work on it all the way until the end of July, go on recess, and then pass it first week they get back in September. That's probably not the way it's going to work. What they're going to do, chances are, they're going to try to pass this the end of July. Again, which means we're going to see stimulus checks. We're going to see the push for that. We're going to see an extension of unemployment benefits. We're going to see a little bit of details regarding the child tax credits, because that's going to come pretty much the same month that this bill potentially is going to pass. And then we're going to see the automatic triggers. Here's what we know. We have seen the automatic triggers brought up multiple times, most notably from the Problem Solvers Caucus when they proposed this back in September. And this was something that I thought was an incredible idea. It was great. It would actually benefit the economy, and it would actually help Congress because they wouldn't have to come in and negotiate a new bill every single time. This would just automatically kick in based on the unemployment rate, based on the economic recovery. So because of that, it would just make sense. But now they're going to try to pass this a year after, pretty much a year after it was proposed. That's Congress for you. They're about a year late. Year late, penny short, right? So what I do know at this point is chances are this is not going to get pushed through. I don't see automatic triggers getting pushed through at this time because this is going to be pretty much a year and a half after the pandemic started. So just now, again, I don't know for sure, but I don't see this pandemic lasting 3 years. So to pass something in the middle, about a year and a half later, I don't see that really benefiting us too much. But it could. We just don't know, right? So all I can tell you is there's a lot of stuff going on. The big thing right now is some experts are saying that they don't see a need for an additional stimulus check, but they do see a larger need for They do see a larger need for extension of unemployment benefits. They also see a larger need for a minimum wage increase, which I've said this before. One of the reasons why lawmakers are pushing for an additional stimulus check is because we're not seeing a child tax credit as quickly as possible, as some were expecting. And we also, there's talks that it might not even happen, and it might come as a yearly tax credit, which is essentially what it is. And then we're also seeing that lawmakers are pushing for an additional stimulus check, a monthly check, because according to the statement from Ilhan Omar, from her office, they say that the American people need consistent income. They need a guaranteed consistent income so that they know when there's going to be money to put food on the table, keep a roof over their head, keep the lights on, and keep water flowing through their pipes. If they don't know this stuff, it makes it very difficult to actually afford anything or pay for necessities because you don't know when your next paycheck is actually coming. So that's what we know right now. But in other great news, we actually have a statement from the Treasury regarding the Social Security beneficiaries and the $1,400 stimulus checks. This is something that I addressed this morning. It was a little shocking to realize that the Treasury and the IRS actually haven't sent out anything to about 30 million Americans. It hasn't actually came out. But there were many reports saying that yes, there were people getting the pending dates of March 31st, which is tomorrow. But according to the reports now, and based off just basic research and knowledge, is we now know that the payment dates for tomorrow, those pending dates, were actually not from the IRS sending payments to people on Social Security. The pending dates were from the previous batch of stimulus checks. So again, it's just a mess. But the Treasury stated today, just a little while ago, and I quote, the IRS projects stimulus payments to non-filers, Social Security, and other federal beneficiaries will be dispersed later this week. Okay, so it's going to happen this week, according to the Treasury and the IRS. But the majority of the payments would be sent out electronically and received on April 7th. This is what we are seeing regarding the Direct Express cards. And I talked about this morning, how we haven't heard anything from the IRS regarding Direct Express. Well, this is what the April 7th date is. They didn't say we'll receive by April 7th. They say received on April 7th. And April 7th is actually a Wednesday. That is next Wednesday. So just keep that in mind. Most likely, every single person on Social Security, if you are a non-filer or if you just have a Direct Express card, you will most likely get it next Wednesday. So just keep that in mind. Now, another big thing that we're hearing today, and I want to bring this up because this is something that I've been looking forward to, is we are hearing that President Biden might include his electric vehicle tax credit in the Build Back Better plan. So this is going to be additional stimulus. Remember what I said. If you guys are thinking about buying a car, and I said this, I believe Saturday or Sunday, if you guys are thinking about buying a car, I'd say wait. Just wait a little bit. You possibly wait a few months. You might have to wait until the end of summer when this bill might pass, but here's what you need to do. If President Biden does indicate that yes, he wants to include an electric vehicle tax credit, you need to wait. Okay? Wait, because what it looks like, according to many people, is President Biden is going to include his cash for clunkers provision in this bill, and it makes sense that President Biden would put his cash for clunkers 2.0 provision along with the electric vehicle tax credit in the same bill. So chances are that's what we're going to see. We also know that President Biden has plans, according to many aides and a few sources, that the EV tax credit is going to go from $7,500 to $10,000 per vehicle. That's actually pretty big. Okay. Now, what I can tell you is, based off of everything that we're seeing right now, okay, the additional tax credits, the price of gasoline right now, what I can tell you. So, I mentioned this in a video before that I currently drive a GMC Yukon. It's not great on gas. It's not fuel efficient by any means. It is fairly expensive to drive. Luckily, I don't drive that much, but it is fairly expensive. So, what I can tell you is, if gas prices continue to go up, first I'm going to buy gas stocks, BP, Exxon, things like that. But in addition to that, I am not going to let this deal pass. I'm going to get a Tesla. Chances are Tesla Model X. It's one of the cars I've been looking at for a while, and I've just been waiting to see when can I get it where it makes the most sense. If they are going to increase the EV tax credit from $7,500 to $10,000, that's going to be the time to do it. I'll do that. I'll save money on gas, right? There's a lot of other benefits behind it as well, and I'll be able to get it for my business. So that's one of the things I'm actually looking at. So if you guys are wondering, is this something I should wait on, or should I just buy a Tesla or some type of electric vehicle now? You could. For me personally, I'm going to wait. I want to see what really plays out, how much more is going to come in for electric vehicles, because I think there's going to be a lot for it. So just keep that in mind. If you have any questions whatsoever, please ask your questions down in the comment section below. But that is currently what we're hearing. So just want to thank you guys for watching. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing so I can continue to keep you updated on everything that's going on. And I'll see you guys on the next one.